All right, welcome back. So in this section, what we're going to do is start setting up some link services. So if you recall, we have SQL Server sitting on-prem. So uh, we've got some data in an on-prem data center. We want to get that into Data Factory. The goal will be to get some data from point A, put it in point B. Well, point A and point B are both going to be linked services. So we've already got the self-hosted integration runtime accounted for. So now we need to get these linked services set up so that we can actually start communicating with these resources. So the first thing that I'm going to do is set up a Key Vault connection. So before I do this, actually, remember we've got a couple of different locations. I'm in my working branch. We've got an author section for pipelines and data sets. And we've got this manage section for the integration runtimes and also for linked services. So what I'll do is create one for Key Vault. I'll say continue. Let's go ahead and pick my test subscription. And then I've got a Key Vault. I already created a Key Vault. Let's see if I can't grab that name. Copy that. Okay. So some people would maybe do like ls underneath that so you can see what it is, but I'm just going to just do the name. So this is a link service to that Key Vault. The authentication method is using that system assigned identity that I created for you, or that I showed you before. So we'll do a quick test connection and we'll say create. Okay, so behind the scenes, you are already able to connect to this. So that was kind of a prerequisite. Next up, we're going to do SQL Server. So on the SQL Server side, this is going to be connecting to my Azure, not my Azure, my AdventureWorks database. So we'll call this AdventureWorks 2022. And if you want to, you could be more explicit and say, link server, SQL, something along those lines. But AdventureWorks 2022 is sufficient for me right now. This one I do need to do the self-hosted integration runtime because that's how I'm connecting to my on-prem resource. I need to tell it the server where this is sitting, which in my case is server 2022. My database name is, well, I just typed it up here. It is AdventureWorks. I'm going to use SQL authentication. The username for this one is ADF server login. Kind of call it whatever you want. So I'm going to put my username here, make sure I spell it correctly. I'm going to, then I'm going to reach into my Key Vault. So this is why I had to have that Key Vault link service established already. And then I'm going to get the secret name. So what I've got is I just have a simple username and password right now for this. That password is stored in Key Vault. I've got the option to do the latest version. So if I have different versions, I could pick one, but I'm going to go with the latest. And then, sure, I'll encrypt it, and I'm going to trust this certificate. And we can do a quick test on the connection here. Okay, it's green, we're good to go. And so what this does is this allows me to reach into that particular database, and then I can do really whatever that service principal has permission to do. That's what we can do. So my main goal is just to select data out of a couple of schemas. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to basically pull it out of SQL Server, and we're going to dump it into our lake. So let's go on ahead and do lake then is the next one. And I'm going to be looking for Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. I'll continue this. Let's go on ahead, and for this one, we are in Azure at this point. So we're going to use the auto resolve integration runtime. That's fine. Let's see, the account key, I'm probably okay with that, but let me double check. No, I misspoke. Yeah, we do want to use the that system assigned managed identity. I think that's probably the cleanest approach. So let's talk about the subscription. I want to go into my test subscription where I have a storage account created. I've got a few accounts. And what we're going to do is put this in just kind of my test lake. And then for credentials, I don't have any credentials, so hold on just a second. Okay, sorry, I want to cancel that. I clicked something wrong, so we're just going to try this one more time. Should have jumped out at me, but when you're doing this on the fly, sometimes you miss a step. So we're going to go to the lake. We're going to go to Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, continue. The auto resolve integration runtime, yes. I don't know why I did the user. This is what I meant to do. It's a system assigned identity. That's why the credentials were throwing me off. Next up, we're going to pick my test subscription, and then I'm going to pick my lake. So that's really what I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and grab this. So now what I'm saying is, hey, I'm gonna have this new link service. Just giving it the name of the lake. I'm going to use the auto resolve integration runtime because we're in the cloud at this point. For the authentication type, I'm going to use my system assigned identity, which has permission to this storage account as a contributor within my test subscription. So at this point, I should just be able to test this. So we'll just test it. Okay, that's good. So we'll create that. So at this point, I now have 3 linked services. All right. So what's cool about this is, yes, I've got 3 linked services, but if I switch over to my main branch, there's nothing there. So what I can do is, let's actually rename this again. I'm just going to say, let's edit this. We'll rename it. We'll just do this. Save. Okay. So all I'm doing is just a quick, I'm just going to do a pull request for my working into my main. And so we're actually starting to see some of these, some of these pieces are starting to flow in. So let's do a pull request here. Let this merge real quick. Okay, confirm merge. And then what we're going to do is pop back over here. We'll do we can just do a quick refresh. Okay, and so now they're showing up in that main branch. I'm going to go ahead and publish these. Okay, so that's about it for these linked services. I think in the next video, what we're going to do is use those linked services to create some data sets. So I'll see you in the next one.